Hey, I'm back. It's Monday. So we're gonna go ahead and do one of these again. So today's video, well, barely a video, you know how it is. I just wanted to talk about a Pokemon I found to be kind of weird because I never got really a reason to use it back when it existed, but I've now gone to use it and it's very interesting. Pyukumuku. So it kind of is weird that Pyukumuku exists because it kind of breaks a 5 year uh, gap between Pokemon like it. And my uh, and what I mean by that is Pokemon that have no attacking moves. You see, Gen 1, the only Pokemon that has that trait is Ditto, and in a way you can argue that it technically doesn't have that trait because Transform lets it become a Pokemon that does have attacking moves. So I would kind of argue that it kind of doesn't count for that. So you get to Gen 2 and you have Wobbuffet, which doesn't have any attacking moves. Now it does have Counter and Mirror Coat, which does let it do damage back, but I wouldn't inherently say that those are in themselves damaging moves. They are just retaliatory. Which unlike Ditto, Ditto can use its ability to literally get damaging move, or use its move and ability in later gens to just straight up get attacking moves. So Wobbuffet doesn't get that by any means, in any way, form, or fashion. It only gets Counter and Mirror Coat. And you could argue why not as well, but it's part of the same evolutionary line, so it's not really adding anything to the game series. It's just another step within Pokemon that don't get attacking moves. And you could technically argue a lot of the mid-form bugs, or even Cosmog or Cosmoem, but honestly, Cosmog and Cosmoem become Solgaleo and Lunala, and because of that, I wouldn't count them in any stretch of the imagination. And then bugs, of course, the mid-form bugs become, the butterflies and the bees and whatnot. And honestly, because of that, I don't count that because they do have evolutions, and also if you raise them from their caterpillar-esque states into the Chrysalis, you can have attacking moves on them. So they don't really count in that respect because of those factors. So when you get down to it, Pyukumuku only has two ways of actually hurting, or three ways of hurting their opponent. Toxic, Counter, and its ability Innards Out. Those are the only ways that you can actually hurt your target with Pyukumuku. Toxic is just stalling, which a lot of Pokemon can do anyway. Counter is, Wobbuffet's gimmick, but it still has access to it. It doesn't have Mirror Coat, strangely enough. And Innards Out is just its natural ability, where when it, faints, it does that amount of damage, the amount of health that it had prior to your opponent, which could be a good chunk of damage if it takes a big enough hit, but generally speaking, you're just kind of stalling things out with it, usually with Toxic, Recover, that sort of thing. So it's very interesting that we got a Pokemon after 5 years. We have no Pokemon in Gen 4 that have no moves, no Pokemon Gen 5 that have no moves. Sorry, I said years, generations. 4, 5, 6 don't have any Pokemon that have any moves, or that have all Pokemon in those generations have attacking moves of some form or fashion or capability of it. And Gen 3, if you don't count Why Not, it's same for them. So it's just very interesting that they broke that, and in Gen 8 they didn't do another Pokemon like that. So it's weird that this gimmick just kind of exists very rarely. I would like to see more Pokemon that are purely utility Pokemon. Even things like Audino still have attacks, even if they are made mostly for utility. So it'd be cool to get a Pokemon that's utility and not stall, if that makes sense. Things like not Mirror Coat, but things like Light Screen, Reflect, Tailwind, just purely status capabilities, not I'm going to stall my opponent out, or Counter Mirror Coat, So it'd be interesting to see a Pokemon like that. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about. Just Pyukumuku. Just interesting Pokemon I got to use recently. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. Peace.